Hi everyone! Today I'm standing here ready with our new label maker and basically the contents of half of our fridge in front of me on the table, because I thought we could do some organizing of our kitchen together. We have a few problem areas in this kitchen. We're not going to be able to tackle them all today, but I thought we could do a few things together, make it look a little nicer, because actually next week Rob and I are getting married. I don't think I've said this. Many of you know that we got engaged 4 years ago now, and next week we're finally getting married. But when you see this, we will already have done it, and I hope it will all go smoothly. Wish us luck. But anyways, I thought it could be nice to just get this kitchen organized and ready for the day, because we're going to be in our garden and our fridge has been a bit of a mess. And one of you lovely people wrote to me on Instagram and asked how I organize my fridge. And the honest answer is, I haven't. So I thought this was a good chance to do it, because basically it's been a mess. A couple of days ago, Rob and I actually took everything out of the fridge and we cleaned it. We did a deep clean. I was actually cleaning a lot of stuff in the bathtub because our fridge is very deep and wide, and that was the best place to clean them. We also cleaned out any things in there that needed to go, and now we're left with everything that's usable and good. So that's what we're going to organize. I also bought some of these containers a few days ago that are called Smart Store, and they're good for using in the fridge. You can remove these paper bits, which makes them clear, so they're great to use in the fridge, so you can see actually what's in them. And that's where I thought we'll place some labels on these so we know what goes in what box. Basically, our issue in our fridge is that we have lots of jars and bottles of different condiments and pickles and oils and I don't know what, jams. So that's what we're going to organize mainly into these boxes. I'm sure if you're doing this at home and want to go along with us, you might have other things that need organizing in there, but I think that's our main issue. So yeah, I think we should just get going and put some labels on these bad boys and pop our stuff in here, and then I'll show you how it looks in the fridge. The first thing I did was to group different foods together. So I had various sauces to one side, then some mustards and some spicy sauce in other categories, and a few other things as well. And then I started making the labels with the label maker, which was actually really fun. In our household, we can never really agree where things should go. So I will put things in one place and Rob will put them in another place, and then we argue about it. So this just makes everything super clear, and we know where everything should go once we open the fridge and need to put something back, which I really appreciate. Leading up to this day of organizing, I tried to measure both the fridge and sort of look at what kind of things we wanted to put together in different containers, so that I knew more or less what kind of containers I needed, how many would fit in the fridge, and how many items would fit in each box. I think this was really helpful, so that I didn't have a bunch of boxes that I didn't use, or didn't have enough boxes for all the items I wanted to store. And here now you can see the full extent of our sauces and condiments. So this was actually super useful to just organize them in different bins, and now when we need something, it's so easy just to pull out that specific bin. So on the top shelf we fit most of our boxes, and we have our pickles, our various sauces, creamy items, as well as jams and mustards. And then beneath that we keep all our leftovers, so they're easily accessible, and also our spicy sauces we use for cooking. And then in the lower shelf we stack our kombucha against all our date boxes, and we also have various items there that we use on a regular basis. The same goes for some of the shelves in the doors, but we also place taller bottles there that don't fit elsewhere, as well as our herbs and hot sauces. And then in the other door, I keep all my tubes at the top here, where other people would keep eggs, I guess. And then I have all our milks and also our stir-fry sauces. And then in the one drawer, I keep our tofu, our vegan butter and cheeses, things like that. And then in the other one, I keep citrus fruits or veggies that we have used a little bit of or need to be in the refrigerator. And underneath I just keep all our veggies. And while I was organizing the fridge, I just thought I'd take the opportunity to also organize all of our flowers that sit in their bags in a big jumble in this cupboard. And yeah, it's hard to find things in there. So I did the same process again. I made labels that I added to jars or containers. These ones are from IKEA with sealable bamboo lids. I really like these boxes because they have such a wide mouth that they're really easy to scoop into when you want to measure your flowers. So I organized all of my gluten-free flowers into these kinds of containers, as well as into jars that I already had previously. Once I had organized all of the flowers I use regularly in my gluten-free baking, I also used one of these big containers to store Rob's bread flowers. He buys new bags all the time, so I thought it's just easier for him to keep them in there. But by putting them in a plastic box, they won't spill all over the place in the actual cupboard, which I think is really neat. And then I also had this other basket that I also got at IKEA that I put spare bags into of flowers that I had already put into containers but didn't fit all of the volume, as well as bags of some flowers that we don't use as often. It really is such a satisfying feeling to stack everything back into the cupboards in a completely neat and organized way. I can't tell you enough. Alright, so I think this is a huge improvement. Both our fridge and our sort of flower pantry, which have both been actually absolute messes. So yeah, seeing as this is actually our workspace, we should have done this ages ago, and it's actually a nice weight lift off my shoulders to see it so organized. So thank you to whoever wrote me a little message asking about organizing fridges, because yeah, this was needed. Now we actually received a really lovely gifted delivery of produce, fresh produce, that I thought we could arrange in the fridge as well and a little bit here on our shelf. But before we do that, I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video and tell you a little bit more about them. Squarespace is an all-in-one website builder with lots of great tools to make it easy to build a beautiful and well-functioning site without any previous knowledge about coding or website building. Personally, I've used Squarespace to create my online food photography portfolio, and I really like that it is so easy and intuitive to use. There are plenty of themes, font combinations, and color combos on Squarespace to get you started, and there are themes for many different purposes, so it's great for everyone from business owners and e-commerce all the way to creatives and bloggers. So if you're thinking about creating a website for any purpose, check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/goodeatings for 10% off your first website or domain. Okay, so now let me show you the beautiful produce we were sent. Especially the tomatoes are gorgeous, so let's go get them. We got this beautiful produce from Freshland, Sweden. So if you live in Sweden, you can check them out if you want. And I just put them into bowls and into the fridge because I know we won't eat all of those tomatoes at once. And then I left the avocados out to ripen. And I also stacked up some lemons and oranges into these wire baskets that we use for fruit. And then on the lower shelf of this shelf, we have a basket where we haven't had anything in it. And I decided to stack all of our paper shopping bags in there so they're easy to grab when we go to the supermarket. And I think it all looks really lovely. And while we're more or less on the topic of shopping bags, this is how we've been storing our shopping bags for grocery shopping, but we don't like having the stool in that corner, so we bought some hangers that we are going to hang behind the door, and I just started measuring and then drilling into our wall to hang them up. And I think it's really neat to use spaces behind doors or hidden places just to hang things that you want to access easily but don't necessarily want to see all the time. So we ended up hanging our aprons on the top hanger, which haven't really had a designated space before. Okay, so we hit an issue here because our walls are really old, and I think they're actually proper rocks or stones in there. So the lower hanger that we were gonna put for these bags, it just didn't work. We need another kind of a drill, so we'll have to wait to borrow one from a friend. And actually the next thing we were gonna do was to hang some shelves here. I got these shelves online, and I thought it would be really great to put some oils and stuff that we have standing down here that is taking up a lot of space and doesn't look very nice. So we wanted to hang these above here and put that up there. But I think we must just wait to actually have a proper drill because we don't want to ruin the wall. The wall here is a little bruised now. So we will show you the final result if we manage to get these done in the next few days. If so, I will put the footage in here so you can see. But there is one more thing that we thought we'd do today, which is remove everything, at least from this lower open shelf that we have here above our sink and countertop, and clean it off and then rearrange it a bit. And I actually also bought some new flowers because we have a couple of places here where we have some dried flowers, and I bought some new ones to just freshen this up a little bit, so we can at least do that. If you are thinking about adding open shelves to your kitchen, I do want to just give a little reminder for you all that you do need to clean them pretty often and remove all the things off of them. And if you keep things on there that you don't use very often, they are going to get dusty. But personally, I think they are beautiful, so I'm happy with mine. But I just wanted to say this before you go ham with the open shelves. And yeah, one of the things that I really enjoy keeping on my open shelves are some fresh flowers, but actually I prefer buying flowers that will dry beautifully because it's more economic and also more sustainable. You're not buying new cut flowers every week, for example. And you can also of course use pot plants, which I also have on my open shelves. So here I use some thistles, some type of eucalyptus, as well as some poppy capsules. All of these dry really beautifully and have really lovely textures as well. One thing that's really been annoying us in the kitchen is this little holder for cleaning accessories and cutlery. As you can see, everything gets stuck in there, so we just bought this little new holder and added it to the space, and honestly, this was probably the best thing we did all day. This is such a perfect example of things needing to be functional in a kitchen where you spend a lot of time and you want things to go easy. But of course, it's also fun to play around with aesthetics and have a beautiful kitchen as well. Okay, so I think that's about it for all our tasks today. The space definitely feels much cleaner and more in order. I feel more at peace. And when I do the shelves, I don't move things around so much, so I hope you're not disappointed. Like, the light needs to stay where it is, and I like to keep the books on the shelf and things like that, but it's just nice to take everything off once in a while and then add maybe something new and move some things around to see if it gives a new perspective. I hope you enjoyed spending the day in the kitchen with me, organizing and yeah, making everything a little bit more neat. I definitely feel good about it myself, and I look forward to using this kitchen more now, even more than before if that's possible. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.